Hello, just before I, delve deep into stuff, just want to say that it doesn't matter, the context of some bad things I've said are. What matters is that it's upset people, and I don't want that, and that's not okay. Just want to start off by saying that I'm genuinely, really sorry for being so careless and just stupid with the stuff I've said, and for saying things without thinking about how they could affect other people. I also want to say that this video is demonetized for obvious reasons, and I want to say that I'm really not into drama. I'm making this video because I feel like it would be disingenuous of me to not say anything. I think people deserve to know what I've said, and I think I deserve to be held accountable for my actions. I'm really sorry, it's 2 AM, I didn't know there was going to be a storm. People are probably really confused right now because I haven't explained anything at all. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that everything I say in this video is, truthful, and I want to get everything out and explain everything. So, pretty much, if you don't know what's going on, basically, a lot of stuff is being said about me on Twitter and Instagram, and it's all kind of blown up into some big thing, and I kind of wanted to just explain it here. So, to explain what happened, I kind of have to explain the full thing, which is annoying. I'm really sorry if this video is long and you have to scroll through it and all. So, this all started when I quote tweeted a Dan and Phil thread that was pretty much a conspiracy about the fact that Dan and Phil are definitely getting married. This is what I tweeted. Obviously, I'm not a Dan and Phil stan, but I just thought, if that was me, I would feel uncomfortable with my followers doing something like that. So this clearly angered the fandom. It was a joke. Apparently the thread was a joke, and I didn't realize it was a joke. So they got angry, and a lot of people started searching through my Twitter for questionable words that I would have said. They must have been looking in the search bar, typing in "no offense" and then a word that I may or may not have said, and they found this tweet from over a year ago. It's genuinely such an incredibly irresponsible and insensitive thing to tweet. Just want to say I am holding myself 100% accountable for tweeting this, and you should be doing that too, because it was 100% my fault that I tweeted this. I wasn't hacked. Some people have been saying that it's okay for me to use that word as a trans man, but that's really not for me to decide at all. And I'm really not here to make excuses for myself. I'm just trying to provide context to how this whole mess happened. So obviously this tweet looks terrible, and I want to explain how this tweet happened. Just want to say right now, the tweet wasn't malicious, and the meaning behind the tweet wasn't that I hate lesbians, because I don't hate lesbians. That was never anything that was in my mind at that moment. So to explain how this tweet came about, my friend tweeted this video, and in the video, somebody said, "I hate lesbians." They didn't use the word lesbians, they used the other word. And I responded with my tweet in exclamation, because I was so surprised that someone would just say that, which obviously just makes me look even stupider that I said it. Clearly didn't think about the repercussions of this tweet or how it would hurt people, but I still tweeted it. Genuinely, it was not a malicious tweet. It did not mean that I hated lesbians, and I know you can bring up that tweet and be like, but you said you hate lesbians. I don't. That was not what the tweet was about. And obviously, I have to clear things up. I really don't hate lesbians at all. I don't have any issues with lesbians. I don't think lesbians deserve less respect than any other person or any other group of people in the LGBT community. I'm also aware of the fact that lesbians are often marginalized and forgotten about in LGBT spaces. So to explain this tweet as a whole, I see how, out of context, it seems like I'm saying that I hate lesbians, but that was not the intent. And even with context, I shouldn't have tweeted it. It shouldn't have even been something that crossed my mind, and I'm genuinely really sorry for tweeting that, because I know it caused a lot of people a lot of, hurt. So after that tweet, they also found this tweet, which again is an insensitive thing to tweet, and I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to tweet that. The reasoning behind the tweet was that, in the same way that the word moist sounds just, odd to me, the word lesbian sounds odd to me, which is silly, just the sound of it verbally. And part of that might be to do with the fact that I've always had, a negative experience personally with the word lesbian, but that's because I'm trans, and people would call me a lesbian as an insult because I was masculine, and being a masculine girl makes you a lesbian, even though I wasn't a masculine girl, I was trans. It was just a triggering word to hear because I was a trans guy in the closet, and people were speculating that I was in the LGBT community somehow, and the fact that they would choose lesbian to define me was just it hurt, because I was like, no, I'm a dude. And genuinely, I'm not looking for sympathy. My negative experience with a word like this shouldn't have been tweeted about. It's not fair for people to see that. Obviously, though, I can see how this tweet could come across, because I know that even nowadays, some lesbians are uncomfortable with the word lesbian, because for a lot of people, the word lesbian is associated with porn, and it's a sexualized word, because men are gross. And my tweet probably, well, definitely didn't help that at all. I've seen a lot of lesbians, and I know a lot of lesbians that are uncomfortable with that word, because it's been associated nowadays with sexualized spaces, which is not fair at all, which is really upsetting. And I know I'm not a lesbian, so I'm not going to be able to understand that, but it really must suck to have a word that you identify with just ruined like that. At the end of the day, I really should have thought about how this could make lesbians feel, and not about my view of the word, because I'm not a lesbian. My opinion on this word does not matter. So I just want to say that these tweets were a while ago. They do not reflect me as a person now, and that's not to say that what I said was okay. And I feel like it's important to say that I'm not just apologizing because I've been called out. I wouldn't say anything like this nowadays. So after these tweets were brought up, I sent out a few apologies on Twitter. I responded emotionally because I was feeling really bad about them. So the apologies aren't as coherent as I'd like them to be, but here are the screenshots. So I don't expect people to forgive me, but I just want to put it out there that I am genuinely sorry. So realistically, obviously those tweets were stupid. I should be held accountable for my actions. Even though the tweets weren't meant maliciously, I can see why people would be upset and angry with me. And my intent doesn't change the fact that I messed up and I hurt people. With that being said, there is also a video going around that I don't think is fair to say that it is lesbophobic. So I posted an unpopular opinions video where people would send in unpopular opinions that people have about the gay community. This is the prompt that was sent in. So somebody posted a clip of me answering this prompt on Twitter and insinuated in the caption that it was out of line for me to say it. So here's the video. Lesbians don't get nowhere near as much attention as other elements of the LGBT group. I disagree with you on this one, but I don't feel like you'll like why I disagree. If you go on Pornhub, one of the top categories is lesbian porn, and you know how many people watch porn? Everybody watches porn. If you don't watch porn, you're probably like a part of a minority group. And I know it sucks, and it's disgusting that so many straight guys fetishize lesbians, because they're like, oh, girls and girls, and sex with no dicks, and wow, I like pussy. That sucks, but I feel like lesbians do get a lot of attention, just not the attention they... So, just to recap, because I feel like people have brushed over this, the question was pretty much, do lesbians get less attention? And recapping my response, lesbians do get attention, it's negative attention. I said it's attention that they don't want, and they're fetishized by millions of men around the world, which sucks and is disgusting. The reason I brought this up is because I thought it was a good opportunity to, you know, bring up the fact that men fetishize lesbians and that it's gross. They view some lesbians purely as sexual beings and they only encounter them in porn. So a few things that people have been saying about this video. They're saying that this video proves that I hate lesbians. They're saying that this video means that I think that lesbians have enough representation. They're saying that I think that lesbians should sit down and not complain about their lack of representation. And they're saying that I'm a hypocrite for complaining about gay men getting fetishized. So I just want to point out that nowhere in this video did I say that lesbians getting fetishized was positive attention. I said it was unwanted. And nowhere in this video did I say that the attention that lesbians get from fetishization from straight men is representation. The word representation was never used. If it was used in the prompt, my answer would be completely different, because attention does not equal representation. Those are two different words. Now I understand that due to my prior tweets, a lot of people could watch this video and jump to the conclusion that what I said had ill intent. However, I do really feel like a lot of the people that had an issue with this really did jump to conclusions and didn't actually watch the video and listen to what I had to say. Given the circumstances of my other tweets, I can see how it's easy to believe that I was dismissing lesbians in this video, or I was trying to imply that they had better representation. But if you actually watch the video, that's not what I said at all. Maybe the video wasn't as well worded as it could have been, but I really don't think it's fair to call it lesbophobic after it's been explained. And that's not me trying to say what is and what isn't lesbophobic, it's just that the sentiment of what I said matches exactly what the lesbians were saying I should have said in the video. There's been a lot of tweets going around that clearly targeted at me, saying things that I said in the video. I understand that after seeing my tweets without context, it's easy for them to just believe things that people are saying about me, but I just feel like they didn't look into what I was actually saying. I don't know. So I really don't know how to end this. Never made a video like this before. I just want to reiterate that I'm genuinely sorry for hurting people and upsetting people. I should have thought about the consequences of saying things like this when I have such a large LGBT audience. I'm not making this video expecting people to forgive me. I know that forgiveness takes time, and I don't expect people to just move on. But for anyone thinking that I secretly hate lesbians, or that I would continue to say things like this if I hadn't been called out, that's not true at all. That's not who I am. I'm genuinely sorry for what I said, and I'm really sorry for hurting you. I've been making a lot of effort recently to better myself as a person and to become a more considerate person, which is why these tweets were from a while ago. I'm not that person now. I want to make sure that I don't hurt people unintentionally or otherwise. If you got to the end of the video, thank you for listening. I am sorry. I am really sorry.